Am I in now?
Yeah, you're good now. Yeah. Yeah, left to right's fine. That's good.
Does it look like I'm spreading my legs?
No, the duck's hiding there.
The duck's hiding.
There's no duck here. This is the entree for our show tonight, episode 98 of the Adelaide Show. Let's just have a close look at these gorgeous, beautiful things. What are they?
These are a Bulgarian cheese pastry. They were a recipe of my grandmother, so they're about a 100-year-old recipe, not the biscuits, just the recipe. And they're made, they're gluten-free. They are also, we used to make them for name days, and also my parents used to have a party every Sunday, and so they used to make, my mother used to make hundreds of these every Sunday that she'd put in the oven for the guests as they first arrived. I do them for a little entree like now, or with a really hot spicy tomato soup, and that you can dunk them in. Or if you're going to do French onion soup and you can't have a gluten-free, you need to be gluten-free. These are gluten-free, so you can use those as the croutons instead of, bread and cheese. And they're fantastic, great in the freezer, great to rewarm, and they take no time at all, and they really are Moorish.
We've moved on. We're preparing for the main course now. Rilka, what are we about?
We are having a traditional duck cassoulet. A duck cassoulet is made with a confit of duck, the duck legs that you confit in its own fat for a few hours in a slow oven. Mm-hmm. And then it's got pork sausages, pork shoulder and pork rind cooked with white cannelloni beans. And it's a slow process over 3 days. You do the confit one day, you do the cassoulet the next, and then you re-cook the cassoulet for about 4 hours on the day you're serving it, all in a very low oven of 150. I'm just putting some green on the fish.
I am just realising the pressure we're under now to actually make this effort worthwhile for you.
No, nothing. I love doing this. This is my, and I was thinking I did this tonight because it's the 4th of Bastille Day next Tuesday. So I thought we should have a French meal.
All right.
We have a prune and apple tart. Mm-hmm. It has no sugar, but the raisins in it have been macerating in muscat for 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Are you driving?
And it's
No, I'm not, Steve.
With a gluten-free pastry that I make out here, and served with some whipped cream with vanilla. So just a very simple, very traditional French tart to go with the French main course because of 14th of July next week.
You mentioned, so you've mixed vanilla with the cream?
Yes, vanilla with the cream. And you'll find that it gives you a sweetness to the cream. And there's no sugar in the actual dessert except for the natural sweetness of the fruits.
And the muscat.
Yes. I always think everything goes better with alcohol.
So really, you're not compensating as far as no gluten, no sugar. It's like a deal with the devil. It's all of those you'll give up so you can have more alcohol.
Well, it's just a grape. It's just a natural fruit. Yeah. So I'm just going to give you boys a piece of pie to take home to your wives, so that they can feel that you haven't neglected them this evening.
So just in case that wasn't picked up, this is a piece of pie for us to take home to enjoy at home.
No, not for you to enjoy at home. Your wives to enjoy at home.
Steve can edit that bit out about
we want to make it. So that's lovely. Thank you. Some alfoil. Beautiful. That's our dessert.
That's your dessert.
Now, let's help you pack up here. Okay. Oh, by the way, welcome everyone. This is the Adelaide Show. Coming up tonight, it's been a rip-roaring bit of fun with Rilka from Rilka's Real Foods in Harndorf. She's cooked for us here in this amazing place in Harndorf, which is next to the cheese...
Utter Delights.
Utter Delights, and also Summerlet Winery. So, why would you move anywhere else?
We don't need to go far. Right. And there's always another bottle available down the road. It's always important.
What we're doing now is we're scraping up some of the leftovers. We had duck cassoulet, which took Rilka something like 75 hours to cook. And she'll take us through some of the stories of this tonight, her history, not always having been a cook, although you've cooked all your life, but you were a headhunter as well.
Yes, headhunter and all sorts of other interesting things that I've done in my life and sat on a few boards and worked with not-for-profits and tried to make a difference.
And now you're here, seasoning South Australia.
Again, making a difference, feeding tummies. Best way to share yourself is to feed people.
Yes. And what you'll find tonight in our podcast is we have followed the a bizarre pathway of conversation and we've divided up into entree, main course and dessert. So it's going to be a different sort of podcast this week. Hope you could enjoy it. What I will say is, do not listen on an empty stomach.
You'll get hungry.
Yes, you will. Highlight of the show for you?
Having the two of you here to share my table.
Oh, I'm breaking out.
The food was excellent, I have to say. Conversation interesting. Varied background that you've come from to end up here. From where you started off in Adelaide, to go away from Adelaide and then to come back.
And it's all about saying yes. An opportunity arises, say yes and see where the road leads you. It's all it is about life. And you're enjoying a bit more wine.
I am. That is the summary of the night.
Yes. It is about saying yes.
Hope you can join us. theadelaideshow.com.au.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Just so yes.
Saigon, we went to a French restaurant where they still made the French onion soup at the table. So they brought out a cart with a heat thing and they cooked the French onion soup in individual pots at the table. It was mind-blowing.
Doesn't the soup take like hours?
A good French onion soup takes an hour to sweat the onions at a very low heat in butter, oil and a bouquet garni. Then you throw, once they've been literally caramelised, then you put in your stock and it takes 20 minutes after that. It's a really easy soup to make.
So what do you do while it's cooking?
Very slow. You leave the lid on and occasionally stir.
But at the table?
At the table, you get pissed.